Sup? I almost forgot to undouble myself. What's up, everyone? Hello, Crescent says, welcome in tonight. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. It's tonight here. It's not tonight everywhere, but, you know, it's tonight where I am. So I get to say tonight. Everyone who has a problem with that can fuck right off. Hello. Something different today. Well, not different for me, but different for the usual crowd here. Games of all sorts and sizes. This honestly started from a discussion I had with some of the HackMud folks about game accessibility and how that's gonna work and everything. And honestly, it's been a long time coming. I've been meaning to do a stream of this nature. It's not gonna be like one single game that we focus on. We're gonna do a bunch of different games. Gonna see like what they did to make things accessible, what they could have done to make it even more accessible. All the stuff that we can do. Let me put something on the screen. Like right now we're just looking at a black screen. It's kind of boring. Let me see what I have in store for you lot to start with here. That'll work. Yeah, we'll start here at the beginning of time. Hang on. Let me find the equivalent little thing that I want to show off. Where is this stupid thing? It's helpfully called Chrome because we're showing Chrome initially. Very standard to what we normally do on this whole entire situation. Where is Chrome? There it is. In the beginning, there was Zork. Okay, so this is old. This is very old. This is extremely old, and this is still somewhat cool, honestly. But this is Zork, and Zork, the Great Underground Empire. Zork was a text adventure, and you'd think that they will always be accessible, and I have deliberately made sure that I found a version that is and a version that isn't. This is a version that is accessible. I'm going to turn on the speech in a second so we can have that running. Here we go. I will also turn it down a tiny bit so people can actually understand it. That would probably be nice. Send it there, do that, and then press that.
Speech mode talk.
There we go. So,
Frame clickable edit multi-line.
Zork. Zork 1.
There, this is west of house.
The frustration and like elation of many is right here, like established in this game.
Release 13. Welcome to Release 13.
Release 13. Serial number 040826. Inform 6.14. Library 6.7. And we're at
Release
west
Zork.
of house.
Welcome to Zork.
This is a text game. So you'd think text games always work, right? Because text. You can just
New notification from
type text. People are sending me messages. It's distracting.
edit multi.
Let's try not to do that too often. So we're in the game at this moment. I can literally type commands and it'll tell me
Rate
the output that comes out. Oh, stream closed captioner.
What is that, video
I don't
game?
need you no more. Hey, follower, what's going on? We're not even starting. Already gotten people coming in. Who is that?
Ops 30 number 0. Go XLR Spotify. Safe space amethyst. Fire.
I don't even look at your name. Your name is
Mainland.
cool.
Thank clickable. Thank you so
So
much.
follow Morhu. Morhu.
Streamer.
Morphy?
Thank you so much.
Morhu?
Streamer message to stream.
Morhu.
Zork.
You're Morhu. I hope you like it. Welcome in. Like, I'm hoping you're having a good day today. We're playing Zork. Accessibility. The entire stream is going to be a Zork stream now. Let's see how this generally tends to work. So basically, I am in an edit field on my browser right now. We're not going to go into the finer beats of web accessibility right now, because no. But if I were to type a command right now, I could type, I don't know, get house.
House. Greater get house that isn't available.
Aw, why not? It's my house. Why can't I pick it up?
F.
Let's go north.
N. Greater N north of house. You are facing the north side of a white house. There is no door here and all the windows are barred.
Okay.
S. Greater S. The windows are all barred. S. Greater S. The windows are all barred.
So I just went north, but I can't go back south. Interesting. West?
W. Greater W. West of house. There is a small mailbox here. A rubber mat saying welcome to Zork lies by the door.
Get Matt?
Get mat. Greater get mat taken.
So this is all pretty doable, because we are working with direct text within the web page, as it were. Like the web page has the text on it. It's an iframe, but it's still text that's visible to the screen reader. Let's go play with this one. This is also Zork, but this is not the Zork we're looking for. Let's see here.
Navigation landmark main land.
Let's go down here. We got Zork 1, the Great Underground Empire.
Link share on face. Clickable link button.
And
Link
there's a
press
little
any.
thing here that says,
Unlabeled graphic to get missing image descriptions. Open the context menu.
yeah, that's really what I need in the game.
Press any key.
Let's start this game. Press the game. Launching. And,
Clickable.
oh,
Graphic clickable. Clickable. Graphic clickable. Clickable. Graphic clickable. Heading level 1's graphic click.
yeah, we can't read it. Let me OCR this.
Land.
Can we
Graphic
OCR
DOS
this?
box SV recognize DOS games. Console game. The best DOS games. Top 1 unfilter new shot you. Search game. Avon. Atari Beans. MSWN. Zorkel. Tigrina Yorun. Boy. Graphic.
So yeah, what's
Speech roll
happened here is actually quite simple. We're not playing with a direct text feed to the website. So we don't have text. This is actually somewhat analogous to one of the issues HeckMod currently has. The text is there, just not visible to the screen reader. Basically, when the screen reader asks the window, like, what's it currently showing, you get a big fat... Fuck off, I'm busy! It's a thing. It's a thing that we cannot really get around. It's a problem. Screen readers just don't have a notion... Yep. Holy shit. Wait, what? Are you talking about the website, or are you talking about the entire view? Because if that's all you're seeing, there's something wrong. Hang on. Hey, pseudonym. Welcome in. Horuhu. Okay, yeah. So the website, I don't know, I guess it's broken. But yeah, what we're looking at... Yeah, what we're looking at is basically a DOSBox instance. So DOSBox is... no, I don't either. So that's I guess, accessible in the sense that it's now equal. Maybe not. But yeah, what we're seeing is that it's accessible in the sense that no one can actually access it currently. It's broken. But if this were to work, it wouldn't work either, because this is its own context. Screen readers don't know what's happening within this DOSBox image. It's the same thing that happens when you try a VNC connection or an RDP connection. Just the screen reader only knows what's happening according to what the OS can provide. So if we are in a game, there's no actual OS widgets. The screen reader has no idea what's going on. We're going to see that in a minute. If we are on a website and the actual content of a game is not in the DOM, but it's actually just a graphic or a video feed or some kind of canvas, screen reader has no idea what's happening, because we're not reading the screen. We're reading an API that the screen reader is talking to. And really only when you OCR, which is a little technique that you use to snap a picture of the screen and then read the text inside, that's when you read the screen technically, but that will only see text. Yep, and we can't click the play button because the play button is out of reach for us. Who are you? Didn't see your name properly. You are Tarantuli, actually, Tarantuli. Salvete. And actually, that's the big issue here. Like right now, we only have an icon that we cannot click because screen readers don't. I could possibly like tab into it and then hit enter. Maybe that'll work. I don't think so. We also have a cookie thing in the way, it looks like.
Heading level 1 Zork Eye. Button full screen. Heading graphic clickable.
I could full screen it. Hey, now we have full screen. I press enter.
Record of house. Zork
oh, that actually worked. Look, we have the game open now, sorta.
0. Mouse. Copyright. C. 1981, 1982, 1983. Infocom Incorporated. All right. Zork is a registered trademark of Infocom Incorporated. Revision 88 / serial number 8476.
So it works, kinda. The problem here is that I have to make a picture every single time I want to see new text. It's extremely like slow. It takes forever, and it's not very it's not very helpful either, because what we're seeing is that there's a lot of errors in the text. Like characters are being misunderstood. Characters are being mislabeled as being different things. Like Y's often turns into G's. O's become zeros. Things of that nature. Ones become I's or the other way around. I's might even become L. So you kind of have to know all those things. And then even with all those, sometimes it just flat out doesn't work well. Ever tried OCR on Skyrim? It's not always a great experience. Anyway, this is Zork. Obviously, this is as simple as it gets. We have a text stream and we have a thing to type. And even this is fuck-upable in the sense that right now we have a screen that we technically can't read. If I were to type here, Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, this is the fun thing about doing a stream where people just trickle in. That's literally pretty much exactly what I said. Fighty 1703, or Fady. Not sure how you probably pronounce that, but I'm gonna say Fighty. You're feisty Fighty. There you go. But yeah, no, that's exactly right. The image is it's a static image according to the DOM. There's no text on the page that renders for a screen reader. If we go back to the previous tab, this one. Here, if I start typing stuff, it'll happily tell me all the things.
A welcome mat.
I got a welcome mat in my inventory. Very nice. It neatly tells me because this is actually in the DOM. It doesn't render to a canvas. It renders to the page itself. And if you go look at traditional MUDs, obviously they don't work with a canvas. Well, I guess some of them might now, but they don't really work with a canvas either. They just render text to the...
New notification from WhatsApp.
Shush! To the... to the shell, whatever you're using, like the MUD client or heck your SSH shell, if that's what you want to use to play MUDs. I've done it in my day. It's fun. But yeah, there's your thing. Like you don't have the simple text stream that's here. We can't play that, and that's really where HackMud starts sort of tipping over as well. Let's actually go to the HackMud next, just so we can see what goes on if we just start HackMud. Now, I will say I've only downloaded HackMud today on this computer, so I have no idea what's going to happen now. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Oh, those sounds must be familiar to some of you. See, can I even capture it with... Wait. We're doing a lot of last minute, like this is live stuff here where we're making sure you can even do things when you try to do them. Let's see. Can we access it? Can we even do it with a... Oh boy. Can we not capture it with a game capture? Oh boy. Hang on. Let me try window capture. Exactly. You don't get to see your shit. You just get to hear the music and the speech. Let me see if I can get it at any way. Oh, I see what the problem is. I had a window capture and that doesn't work, so we're gonna have to use a game capture for this. Hang on. I know you can't see anything right now. I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. I'm working on it. Leave me alone. Delete. Dirito. Back to the Mega Man ages of yesteryear. Here we go. Whoop. Game capture. People are wondering how I'm even doing this without using speech. I'm using Braille, which is really helpful to have in situations like this, so I don't have to have this yammering at me while I'm trying to get stuff done and also talking to people. What's that? Oh, my bad. No. Just on one specific window. Gimme. Huh? Wait, is this not working with this either? I can't share my entire screen. I have way too much shit open. Ah, there it is. No, it's not. Hang on. Speech. Just for me. I don't think this game is letting itself be captured. Is that a common thing? It really does. I really don't mind having this on while I'm figuring this out. That's cool. Is there like a super secret trick to get this to actually run? Window capture. Let's try that again. What the hell? Like, it's just a Unity window. It should work fine. What is this? Ay. Shouldn't be. Hang on. I can try that. This is fun. But this isn't even an accessibility issue. This is just OBS being a pain in the ass. Oh, there it is. Finally. Hackmutt win. There we go. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, well I didn't alt enter on the wing and it actually did seem to have fixed it. So let me actually show you what we're currently getting from Hackmutt. Because this is going to be fun. So, speech back here. Obviously, that works. I can type stuff. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. That sounded very Soviet. Hello. Natasia's in the other room. Anyway, we're not getting any output back, and that makes sense because, again, this is a canvas. This is, for all intents and purposes, a canvas. We don't have APIs. Like I showed off earlier, when the screen reader asks what's even on the screen, we just get a big fat. Back off, I'm busy. So that's really all we're getting. All we're getting from this is 2S3. ES3. That's what OCR has made of this window. It says 2 ES3. Oh, well, Well, NVDA just decided to flee for the hills. I understand why. Did the game also crash? No, that's still there. Okay. Coolest cats. Okay, we see a bit more stuff now. Let me switch your speech back over, actually. Game. So this is really what we're getting. It doesn't? Wait, how are you even seeing that? That's impressive. That's impressive. Okay, let's try something else. Let me try something else. I have an idea. Let me set this briefly to something else, like, I don't know, this, and then switch it back to Hackmutt. That's my fancy audio thing to make sure I can do
this kind of silly stuff.
There, it should be showing the game now. If it's not showing the game, then I honestly don't know what to tell you. I do not, no. I'll slow that back down once I'm actually good with stuff. Like if it's still not working, that's really, really strange. What if I do this again? Will that fix it? Alright, well, worst case, you're gonna have to deal with the fact that I can't fix this. This game will not OBS. I don't know why. It's worked before. I think, didn't I have to do the entire... So, this is actually kind of funny. When I did this last time, I was doing a 12-hour stream, and I honestly was so wired by the time I got to this that I don't remember how I got this to work last time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this an example. I'm going to make this... I'm going to be very much aware. Like, I'll try one more time if I can get a hold of it somehow, and if it doesn't work... I'm just gonna have you guys follow with audio, and that's all. I'll slow the speech down. I'll be that nice at least, but I'll show you just this is the experience, and this is where we could be making improvements. Let me try one more time to capture this, and if that doesn't work, then I don't know what to tell you guys. It's just not happening, I guess, today. Okay, so let me do that. I wonder, what if I set to any foreground full screen window application? That's what I just did. And then I go here. Does that work? Can you guys see the game now? Because I know I'll have to tell you what's happening on the screen. Like, I honestly do not. Okay, well, we got it working. Oh my god. So I'm using, oh shit, so many people coming in. Vidya Games. Hello, Molitvan, welcome in. Hello, hello. You saw chat messages on screen, but it was black. Okay, so let's actually look at speech, at OCR results from the game. Let me slow the speech down because I'm not that much of a masochist. Let's go look at what this. So we got 2E53, 2E53 again. Hey, Cyber Dante, we're doing gamey stuff today, man. Like, welcome in.
2S3, 2E53, 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 GBE less cats.
GBE less cats. That should be coolest cats, but you can see that it really struggles with the font here. There's no idea what all of this is. Kalest cats. I-est.
Coolest cats.
Coolest cats.
CBList cats. CBList cat. GBE less cats. Angle. G. Oh. Sweet. There was this. Oh, sweet. GC. There was this. GRAVE. Way road. There. After. The. I act. SGS.specs. Acts. Valid. Weird. It looks.
Yeah, I know.
Like a key. Value pair. If we put it in as parameters. Size.status. 2. SCR ipt. Greater flush. Window contents have been written to disk successful I. See lori1.txt.
Yeah, kinda. So last week I was talking to someone about game accessibility, and I decided let's do a how video games for blind people stream on IC Null. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going over a bunch of different games. This is one of them. This is HackMud, and I'm about to go show off how I've actually made this a lot more, well, doable-ish. And the problem is that some of this is going to be the game, some of this is going to be a command line window, and some of this is going to be a Notepad++ window. There is no way in hell that I'm going to be able to show all that, so you're going to have to trust me at my word that some of these things are actually happening. The first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a command line window.
Windows System 32 cmd.x command prompt terminal C.
And I'm going to run something that I've called regex.py. Regex.py. That's now running. I am now going to open my Notepad++.
Note full star new 2 Notepad+. Lang.
And I'm going to open a file called buffer.txt.
C. User.
That's in my home folder because that's all I have.
Buffer.txt.
There we are.
C. Users Flory 00237C0002555C.
Okay, I'm going to clear this out. I'm going to delete all of it in this file. I'm going to go back to the game. Now, the thing is, all this script does is if it is basically it pulls the shell.txt file. It strips out all the XML color tags and then dumps the cleaned up text in a Notepad window. So if I were to do a flush, the content has now been flushed, like we have the contents. My script should have noticed that the shell.txt's modified date was changed. And if we now go to the Notepad window,
speech mode talk. Star C users Flory buffer.
Hopefully.
Star C users Flory buffer. Land.
Uh-oh.
Land.
Was it buffer shell?
Open dot. Speech mode.
Yes, I did.
Code off.
Yes, I did. Oh, schloop. That's right. I can't flush here. Right. Thing is, I forgot the commands for that. Let's see. What is it? Username. You must. Okay. Oh, I see it now, yeah. Your account has no users. Create users with the user command. Okay, so I don't have... That is so weird though, because like why does it already have chats? Yeah, no, I see that, but like if we already have chats on the screen from my previous session, and where are my users? Like that was on a different machine, but apparently some of it moved over? Do I just... I'll just do 0cx, I guess. That's my usual. There you go. There you go. So now I have to
Speech mode talk.
essentially make sense of this soup here to figure out what I'm meant to be doing.
User trust active user trust communication. User sessions unverified. User active user is now Xerxes. The away in. It tells me I.
Yeah, so I have no users, but I also have like post-trust chat messages in my chat window. Like, where is that coming from? I might have copied like app data stuff by accident, and it's just like completely confused now.
The active user is now
doesn't matter. Can I flush now?
Ahmed. Flush. Recognize these MSG. Yeah, let's try. Angle. .map C. Lori window contents have been written to this.
Yeah. So
speech mode off.
Now I flushed.
Speech mode talk.
This is such a dumb. I flushed. I done. I finished.
C reload dialog. Yes, but Note plus Y.
At this moment, Notepad is saying, "Hey, the stuff changed. You need to check if you want to check that." So if I press yes at this point,
C users Flory buffer shell.txt Notepad plus. Trust communication. Parse error scripts.clear. Script doesn't exist. Lang greater scripts.clear window. Chat trust communication. Parse error scripts.clear. Script doesn't exist. Lang greater help. Trust communication. Lang C users.
So if you go all the way at the bottom.
Window contents have been written to this great Lang. User sentience trust communication. User sentience.
It says user sentience unverified. Please verify by running trust.sentient. So I have a perfectly clean text stream now. I can run trust.sentience. Sentience.
Sentience.
We got stuff. I have to flush again.
Flush.
I have to go to the file again.
C reload dialog.
Press click yes again. I have to go to the bottom again.
Basic Lang. Our continued success. Thank you. Trust communication. Thank you for verifying your sentience. Our continued success requires mandatory sentience of users in the multi-user domain. Verify basic sentience by running this script with empty parameters. Trust.sentience.
So this is the way I've essentially cobbled together a couple of tools to make this game accessible. It isn't by default. Like, there is no way to play this. Well, as you can see, there is a very sort of painful way to play this by basically fishing through the soup, the soup of letters and numbers to figure out what I'm meant to be doing. That gets particularly tricky with things like this, where you have trust.sentience, left brace, right brace. Those characters often get misrecognized. So at that point, you're stuck, basically. You're gonna have to do all sorts of magic stuff to make this work. Another approach to this would be making a picture of the screen, sending it to AI to solve. There are screen reader plugins that do that. Basically, I can say, hey, with a prompt, what does this say on the screen? And I have done that actually a couple of months ago when I first started playing Hackmud. That's how I did it. Before I made this solution, I'd used OCR, I used the AI, and I use just a bit of, I already know how to program, so it's probably this they want, logic. But obviously that's not very user-friendly, as it were. There's a lot of stuff there where you're like, this is not something the average user is going to want to do. Like, this is fun if you're a hacker and you just really want to play this game. And I was very curious, so I did. And I wrote a script to essentially parse this file. And this was pre-Flush. Like, Flush came in the day, a couple days after I started complaining on the Discord. When Flush came out, that's what I based my whole entire approach around, and I got it to work. But like you see, it's clunky. I have to do the command, then I have to wait, and I have to go to the other command, other window. I have to press yes, then I have to press have to scroll down to see what it said, go back to the window, do what it said, and rinse and repeat, basically. Like, this is essentially how you play this game. And you can play this game this way, like, particularly once you start understanding what you're meant to be doing. You don't always immediately have to flush. Like, you can guess that your commands are probably okay and just do a couple in a row and then flush. Later on, when the chats are on the screen, right now we already have them on the screen, but they shouldn't be. But when you get chats on the screen, they come in, you know, realistically, one after the other. So really what you have to do at that point is, again, wait for them all to finish, then flush, then read it all, and then act on it, because otherwise you just keep flushing and it just takes too long. So it's all doable. It's all doable. It's not great though. It's not fantastically great. So this is where you'd want to somehow interface directly to the screen reader. There's a couple of libraries that do that. There's various, like, programming languages have various tools that do it. That way, a user can essentially intercept the output from the game directly, have it read in a way that makes sense to them, even pipe it to a Braille display if you want, like this thing. I'm so glad I have this thing back. I missed this thing so much. Anyway, it was in the shop for a couple of weeks, but it's back now, so it's all good now. We can try that, actually. Yeah. Let's actually get rid of all this stuff.
CLS. Recognize SGX besides the scratch. Chat YU scripts 2031 to die 221. Info 6
seems to have worked.
Unlock accounts. Get started BG running a band. Want to try 1, 2. Dot, you can have one of the ones. 2034 came as cats.
No, it didn't work actually. It's still there.
Hackman.
Special. But yeah.
Speech mode off.
This is currently how you'd play HackMod. Yeah, I'm guessing chat.txt either got re-downloaded or got taken in from one computer to another. It's kind of interesting. That's all good. So we're now essentially at the level of completely inaccessible game that I have made accessible, and it's really a lot of the time this kind of hack that makes games accessible. I mean, normally it's more of a sanctioned mod or an unsanctioned mod, or a script kiddie in his basement cobbling a regex cleaner together and setting that up, which was what I've done for this game. What I want to do now is I want to take a bunch of different games that rise in complexity and sort of indicate what they've done to make those accessible, and, you know, that's less applicable to HackMud in some respects.
Van just redeemed Tangia. Ask AI GLaDOS a question, TTS, saying I think a big-time scary hacker hacked my toilet. It keeps flushing. What do I do?
Oh god, I have no idea. Oh my god, it still works.
I think a big-time scary hacker hacked my toilet. It keeps flushing. What do I do? Oh, of course. A big-time scary hacker decided to target your toilet. How terrifying for you. It's much more likely that you have a simple plumbing issue. Try jiggling the handle or checking for a faulty flapper. But if you insist, it's a hacker. Maybe just hope they don't escalate their attacks to your kitchen appliances.
Speech mode, speech mode.
Well, I could hear that. I hope you guys could too. Let me look at chat because a couple of things came in. A big time scary hacker. Yeah, it's a thing. It's in roaming app data, so I'm not surprised it got copied over. Yeah, that's very possible. Molly Don redeemed the thing. Yeah, very fair. And then Pseudonym said, it seems like it would be very difficult in the time limited sections. Not necessarily. You've heard how fast my speech goes. In this particular way, yes. If I have to flush constantly, that's just borderline undoable. The hardline things, usually you can just button mash on the keypad, I found, and eventually you'll be let in. And then you have to do a lot of flushing really quickly to get all the, you know, all the lock hints and things. It's doable, but it's not very pleasant. So yeah, a little best voice and looking at chat. That was great. Yeah, it was amusing. I'm honestly surprised that's still working. I don't think anyone's redeemed that in months. And I always make sure the overlay is running, so if someone does do it, they can hear it, but good job. Okay, so yeah, what I want to do next is go over a couple of like different games. I'm gonna close this out for now, sorry. Goodbye soundtrack, you will be missed. Let me put some music on while I sort out the next game. So basically, we've gone from Zork, from like a text adventure, to a MUD, which is essentially also a text adventure but fancier. We're now going one step up, at least in the games that I currently have available to me, and we're gonna go to a point-and-click-esque game from, well, not the 90s, it's actually really recent, but it's done some really interesting things to make the gameplay more accessible. So let's go find that game. Knowledgeable people will know what I'm going to do next.
Press any button to start. For accessibility options, press space.
So a couple things happening here. I know you can't see it yet. I'm working on that. But a couple of things here. We already get immediate spoken prompts that indicate, hey, we did the accessibility thing. We're cool. We're cool. You should like us for that. And they're right. Some applications do this too. Visual Studio Code comes to mind. Brock. This is Brock the Investigator. It's made in Game Maker. It's charming. But yeah, this is Brock the Investigator. You're a crocodile investigating crime. I mean, how cool do you want it? Oops. Well, that works. So, yeah, this is Brock. And they've essentially done a couple of things here. They've made effort to essentially describe rooms you go into. They have an innovative snapshot system. Yeah, but that's fun. That's the fun of it. I know you can script it, but I haven't even done it the manual way yet. And the manual way is fun. Like, I know you can script it all. You can probably script the entire game and just walk away. Where's the fun in that?
Exit game. New game. Load. New. Continue.
So let me open up an actual game here.
New controller detected. Brock cannot enter a small oval-shaped room. A delivery tube is to the right while the guard's desk is to the left. There are 3 doors on the north part of the room.
Who are you?
Who are you?
The guard is a somewhat portly rat. He has a typical black guard outfit, comprising a tie with white and pink stripes.
We're here to
A
investigate.
typical black guard outfit. There's some interesting things in that line.
Best investigators. I didn't expect to see a darn croc and an ugly boy.
Watch your tongue. We're here to help.
Uncle Wes sent us. You can call him to check.
No point. I know the old weasel. I shouldn't be surprised.
No time to
Says
waste.
all the indie
Fill us
charming,
in on the situation.
indie charm right here.
Yeah, I should have guessed he wouldn't take time for that either.
Talk with guard. The situation.
So, this is a point and click game. You can walk or you can not walk. You can talk to things. You can fight things. You can fall off things. You can do all sorts of interesting things in this game. Kinda. So what they've done here is a couple of things. There is 2 modes of interaction. Like, one mode is literally just free roam. You can walk around and swing your whatever weapon, your hand or your stick, whatever you have, and you can just walk around and you get a description of the room, so you can do that. You also, like you caught on to, have a what they call a snapshot, what do they call it? Hot zone system, or like hotspot system, I think they call it. It's basically, they've made everything in the room that might be interactable or needs to be interacted with a thing you can sort of hit enter on, and it sort of path finds you to it. So it doesn't just take you to the objective. It does give you agency to pick where you want to walk, but it does walk for you, which means that you don't fall off cliffs or do other silly things that you should not be doing. So in that sense, you have an interesting line between agency. I still want to be able to explore these rooms because that's literally half the game. And also, we understand you can't see where you're going, so you don't have to walk everywhere if you don't want to. We're gonna see some other games later that do this differently, but this is how these guys have done it.
Guard. The situation.
Yeah, I have
Think.
to talk to this
Exit.
guy.
Guard. Show item. Exit.
I think.
Guard. The situation.
So let's talk about the situation.
One of the 2 engineers living here has disappeared.
Living? Aren't they supposed to work here?
Same. They never leave the place.
Does anyone get Freddy
What makes you
Fish
think the
vibes from this? Because I
situation
do.
is serious?
I do regular room checks. During my last one, I just couldn't find Dr. Hush.
Couldn't he just be hiding somewhere?
Man, don't take me for an amateur. I've looked all over the place. Besides, the guy's medical device has stopped indicating any vitals for hours.
Maybe he arranged his escape and left while he didn't look.
Uh-oh, he dead.
Impossible.
He'll dead like.
As you've seen, lasers block the entrance constantly. Even the engineers aren't allowed to leave without permission, which is by request to us agents. Well, Dr. Hush didn't make any such request.
That place sounds like prison.
Nah, I know those intellectual types. They don't mind dedicating their whole life to working on their crazy projects.
Oi!
She is a good example of that. I'm pretty sure they asked for it.
The Croc is correct. They said to me once that studies have proven this way of living enhances creativity. To me, that's just an excuse to do whatever they want.
This is such a dig on
Why
academic.
though?
I love it.
The barriers are for their own protection from outside threats.
Yeah, totally not paranoid.
You should know. That fits the description of most drummers. Can't blame them with all those drones roaming outside. But they created this situation themselves.
Talk with. Think. Exit.
Okay, let me get out of
take a
this
look
so I can
around.
look around a bit.
Not too soon. You better solve this fast. I was supposed to finish my shift 1 hour ago. I won't get paid for this overtime.
Lab. Hall. Action.
So now I'm in free row. I can just literally walk around. Do do do. Do 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 do.
Door. 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 Guard.
Can I beat you up?
Door. 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 Door.
Exactly, and that's really what is done here too. Let's beat this up.
Door. 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 Up. Door. Door. Up.
Can I beat you up? Aww. Factorio, I might. I'll see if I have time for it.
Guard.
Can I beat you up? So,
Guard.
Hey! The situation isn't already bad enough for you? What the? I knew it! You darn racist!
No! My hand slipped.
Got my eyes on you, pal.
Guard. 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 Guard.
Ah! Enough! You're good for jail, buddy.
Mr. Brock, what's happening to you?
yeah, I see your messages on YouTube side.
didn't
They're all being
want
mirrored on
to,
Twitch as well, so I can see everything you're saying.
Someone's controlling me.
I'd rather send you to the closest mental hospital.
Game over. Darn. Such violence. Press any button to continue.
So,
Lab. Hall. Action. Adventure.
okay, that was the action mode. You're obviously not meant to be doing that. Oh, you're not meant to be doing that. You're meant to be doing other stuff.
Door up.
So now let's not do that. Let's actually look around what we have for the interactables. This is pretty much what you said. Tab around for the interactable things.
Exit.
That's accessible for many people, including blind people, because we can literally just
Door up. Box.
go
Door
through
right.
the area. And a lot of the time, the problem is that we don't actually know what we're on, because that doesn't get voiced, and in this game it does. So that's
Door pipe.
the big difference. What's this do?
A pipe mail? In the middle of the hall?
Those guys receive shipments all the time. Mostly ink for their material printers, but also their junk food. It's very practical.
Can't see anything special about it, but it's shut. Any way to open it?
Nah, it's totally automatized. And only goes one way. The only thing those scientists produce is information. They never need to send anything physically.
This person really doesn't like
Makes
academics.
sense.
Love it.
Door right.
Yeah, so we talked to that thing.
Box.
We can look to this
The
box.
recipient for the pipe? Huh. As empty as my willingness to examine it.
Well, damn. And that's what they've done here. Like, there's combat. We already sort of saw how that works. It tells you what you're targeting, and what, like, in the panning, the stereo panning, you can kind of hear what you're panning. Like, you'll hear guard on the right, and it means you need to go turn to the right a little bit, and then once you're in range, you can start wailing on them. Combat is pretty much that. Like, you have a weapon, you smack them, and then at some point either you lose or the other person does. So that is what this game has done. Like, they have self-voicing things. They got some. Why is my character walking around without me touching the keyboard? They got
Action.
Stop. They got self-voiced descriptions of the room, so you can sort of walk around should you want to. You can also just not do that and well, use the hotspots to click things that you want to interact with. And that's really the entire game. You have the menu-based stuff for things like combining items together, and it's really just that. That's the whole entire game. There's not much more to it, but that can be enough. Like, with this framework, you can make an entire game, and it works. It even works with a controller. Hey. But yeah, that's really all this is. There's some like minor platforming in it. You can do it. You can also skip puzzles in case they just don't work for your specific playing situation. If you can get past a bit, you just skip it. I tend to not try to do that, but you can if you need to for whatever reason. If you have like dexterity challenges or the puzzle just is too visual for you, you can just skip it and continue on with the game.
Sorry.
What was that for?
I didn't want to do that. I swear.
Adventure. Add. Action.
Yeah, that's Brock the Investigator. Let's go one level up from this. This may take a second to load, and once the speech kicks in, people will know what I'm doing. That's Brock the Investigator. It's an indie game, like a really small team that decided, you know what, let's actually not discriminate like a really big part of the population and do stuff.
Preparing shaders from disk cache for Mortal Kombat 1, 0%. This may take a few minutes.
In a dark void, sand drops through the neck of an hourglass into a heaped pile. The last grain strips glitches and stutters before it bursts into cosmic light. Titan havoc emerges from the darkness.
You have learned nothing. Chaos is unknowable, unpredictable. You are in no way prepared to stop the pain you will endure.
A title appears before a sickly green sky stretching over dim mountains and a murky lake. Mortal Kombat 1, Chaos Reigns.
Fun. So, Mortal Wombat.
Mortal Kombat 1.
That's what I said. This is a game that came out last year.
Story. Fight your way through a cinematic story.
And it actually had a blind consultant working with them to make it more blind accessible. Now, fighting games...
Up and down button.
Shush, I'm trying to speak. Fighting games, by default, tend to be relatively blind-friendly already just because of the sound design. The sound design... You know, if stuff, you can hear stuff coming from the left and the right. You can hear like where your opponent is. You can't hear exactly where he is, but in a game like this, you don't really need to aim anyway. You need to sort of just, well, I think most people just button mash their way through. Honestly, that's what I do for the most part. I'll look up some combos and then I go to town on with them. But what they've done in this game is they've made it a lot more competitive. They've essentially added things. There's a couple of things that they've done, like you can hear by like a clicking sound that goes faster and faster as you get closer, how far away your dude is, how far away your opponent is. There is little hit sounds that indicate how high up you're hitting your opponent, so you can learn, you know, what your combos are doing. Normally you just hear smash, 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 and you don't know if you just did a kick or a punch or a kick punch or a punch kick. But at least from these little descriptors, you can tell, okay, this is if someone were to use this combo on me It's a high block, low block, middle block. So if you know what they're going to do, you can now anticipate like what a lot of other fighting enthusiasts would do. That is obviously a lot harder when you just can't hear what they're doing. What we just heard right before I turned on this this game on the screen. Right now we have it on screen. Before you guys hadn't. But we had a little female voice telling us what was happening visually. That's called audio description, and it's one of the first games that I know of that's like sort of AAA-ish that does that. They do it for the cinematics mostly, so they do it for story mode. Mortal Kombat does it for fatalities as well, so you know what their gruesome fatalities look like. That's nice, I guess. Oh, we got like demo fights in the meantime. Very nice. But yeah, it tells you what's happening on the screen visually for some things. Not everything. Like that would get really annoying if he... Okay, he punches him. Now he punches him again. And now the other guy punches him back. And kind of like that IT crowd. He has the ball. Now he has the ball. He kicked the ball again. It's not all that pleasant to listen to. So you got cinematics doing it and fatalities doing it. And it's not the first game. The Last of Us Part 1, I think, is the first game that actually did this for a game. I might be mistaken. I mean, Brock the Investigator does it too. But like I'm trying to like really popular games. I think TLW 1 was the first one that did it. And then Forza Motorsports did, and then this did, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Could be off on the order there. But then Spider-Man 2 did it as well, and as of like recently, Star Wars Outlaws has done it too, as has the re-release of God of War Ragnarok on PC. Except that one's pretty bad. We might get to that one actually. So the tricky bit here is that audio description has become a popular feature for cinematics, but nothing else. And what we're seeing in accessible gaming right now is that it seems to be a bit of a popular thing to add to games, even though the game itself may not be accessible enough for a blind player to play. The justification for that often tends to be if you were playing it with an assistant or with another person or another player, now you at least know what's happening visually, which a lot of people actually take offense to, because not everyone has a pocket-sized person in their pocket that they can just pull out when they want to play a video game. And it's just a bit of a fuck you to everyone. Like, we couldn't be fucked to actually make this game work for you properly, so here, at least now you know what's happening, and we'll Star Wars Outlaws is playable if you have an objective. The way they've done objective scanning is actually pretty cool. The problem with that game is that it's open world, so you rarely actually ever have an objective. So, yeah. Star Wars Outlaws actually has quite a few accessibility features, just not the ones we would need to actually be able to play. And, yeah, we're seeing more and more games add it, just for sort of the sake of adding, like a token effort almost. God of War Ragnarok is in an interesting place with that, but I will get to that when I get to that. Let's do some gameplay, actually. Let's play.
Campaign.
Thanks, Sightless Combat.
Story.
Anyway,
Story.
let's not do story. That's a bit much. Can I do like a versus? Just against the computer? Is that a thing we can do?
Choose fighter. Raiden.
Now, as you can hear, as we are going through these menus, the voices, the menus are self-voiced. Like, it tells us what I'm on as I'm going through these menus. That's called menu narration, and it's actually kind of rare. Let's do Fighter Jesus. What's the dealio? Oh, this is not local. Okay, well, whatever.
Customize. Versus. Classic. Unlock character endings by defeating classic Mortal Kombat towers. A button confirm.
Oh yeah, let's do that. That sounds fun.
Novice. Choose fighter. Reptile. Scorpion.
Who do we want to be?
Sub-Zero. Li Mei. Kenshi. Baraka. Garaz. Peacemaker. Omni-Man.
Oh.
Peacemaker. Locked.
Ah, fuck you.
Peacemaker.
Oh well.
Noob Cybin.
Plus, I haven't tried him yet.
Locked. Sector. Sector. Cyrex. Peacemaker. Reptile. A button select. Directional pad. Navigate. B button back.
Is there like a random?
Scorpion. Smoke. Rain. Melina. Kidna. Ermac. Cyrex. Noob Cybit. Rain. A button. Smoke. Scorp. Reptile. A button select. Directional pad. Navigate.
Huh. Nope.
B button back. Scorp. Sub-Zero. Scorp. Reptile. A button. Choose cameo.
I guess that's just be you.
CPU difficulty.
Sonya Blade.
Medium. A button confirm. Medium.
I love how
Easy.
everyone actually plays this. That's too easy. I haven't played this in forever. So I have most accessibility things on. Me too. I'm terrible at Mortal Kombat.
Scorpion. Striker.
Okay. What about them? Oh. Ow.
Liu Kang wants your skills tested.
Against you? Not sure that I'm ready.
Round one. Fight.
Wait a second. So
A button confirm.
one thing that's really interesting that they've done here. So this used to be a really terrible TTS, by the way, like a really bad voice that they built in. This is an Unreal Engine game, I think. So engine-wise, we're working with the Unreal Engine, I think. And they figured out a way to at least have speech for these important things. I'm not sure if it's a screen reader outright, or if it's recordings of speech that they've just placed in the right place. That does happen, and we'll encounter it later, I'm sure.
Controls. Move list.
If I go to my move list right now...
Reptile. Facing right. Basic attacks tab. Normal attacks. Stage hand. X button. Damage. 20.0.
So for one, this is super slow. Like, it takes forever to read,
High.
which makes me wonder. It does... I do get the idea that they actually made recordings of all this stuff, because if you go faster, if you make this speech go faster, it actually starts to chipmunk after a while, so it's some kind of audio speed up that they're using. It's not very good. A bad algorithm for speeding up the speech. It's not actually using speech. I think it's actually just recordings of speech, honestly.
Special moves tab. Acid spit. Down button. Right button. X button.
So yeah, it's usually, you know, down right X, down right B, down right triangle. But let's OCR and see what we get with OCR. Because it does some interesting things here that I want to point out for fighting games in particular.
X button advanced view.
Special moves.
Y
Move
button
name.
tag move.
Acid spit bullet.
Hold to clear
Acid
all.
spit ball. Enhanced
0
acid
of
spit
10.
bullet. Enhanced acid spit ball.
U
Dash
button
attack
hide
bullet.
slash
Enhanced
show
dash attack.
in-game.
Force ball bullet.
Left bumper
Slow
and
force
right
ball.
bumper.
Fast force ball.
Change tab.
Enhanced force ball. Enhanced
B
slow
button
force
back.
ball. Enhanced fast force ball. Death roll bullet.
So it reads the move names, but it doesn't read the inputs, and there's a very simple reason for that. The inputs aren't technically text, they're icons. Yeah, could be SAPI, but yeah, what I'm showing off here is like we don't have the buttons, and in older fighting games like Killer Instinct, for example, which I enjoy playing, that means that if you want to do the tutorial, you technically can't, because you can't read what button prompts they want you to press. In this game, it generally tells you, and you can now use AI to figure that out. But say even 2 years ago, you literally could not play a game if you just didn't know what to press. You'd have to go Google it, and hopefully you could find it somewhere. And how well that would work depends on...
Damage. Acid spit ball. Hold X button.
It depends on just how much popularity the game has and how many people wrote shit down. Because if it didn't write it down, that's it. You're done. No game for you. So that this is here is comparatively huge. Like you'd think that okay, just make the screen read. It's like one of the standard things. We have been doing screen reading since like the 80s. A shut up button would be nice.
Change tab. Back off, I'm busy. Back.
But yeah. Nope, they don't. So You got no OCR. You get nothing. And again, this is a screen reader. This is a screen reader black hole again. This is a game. There's no S stuff. If I want to look at the game's output with my screen reader, I have to use OCR, like we did before with Hackmud and with Zork. So let's actually play a match, and I'll point out some of the things that we see. To listen very carefully, there's a quiet ticking noise that goes faster the closer he gets. And there's these clingy, dingy noises that go up and down in pitch as I hit or get hit. When in doubt, spit at people. How about we hit something? That'd be nice.
While firing a sidearm at the victim, he stun guns their neck and Billy clubs their side. Scorpion slings rope darts through his victim's sternum and neck. He pulls. Scorpion slams them.
I do not remember any commands or controls. But yeah, I can now go literally look at the move list, something I could never do in a fighting game, and I can look up combos.
Enhanced Acid Spit. Finishers tab. Basic attack. Killer kick. X button. X button. B button. Damage.
Okay, so we now have a combo. Take a chill pill, dude. And there you go.
Move list.
I lost, but I know I lost because it tells me Scorpion wins. So in this case,
navigate.
What they've done here, you know, my terrible playing aside, is made a game that's pretty accessible. You got the story mode, which has audio description, so you know what's happening in story mode. You got your distance indicator. You got your hitboxes indicator telling you where you're being hit, where you're hitting, so you know that for the next time for that combo, sort of when to block, why, how, so you can actually learn the game. People go nuts with this stuff. Like, they literally learn frame data and everything, stuff that, you know, fighting games enthusiasts have been doing for 20 years. And we never really could. Even the tutorials just read fine. You can play those, and I probably should, because I haven't played this in a year. But the tutorials tell you exactly, like, what is on screen, what they want you to do. They give you, like, demonstrations that you can follow. So this game has a lot going for it. Now, I'm not a huge fighting game enthusiast. I'll play them, but I don't love them. They're okay at best. So we're going to move on now.
Mortal Kombat rate, Mortal Kombat 30.2.
But yeah, that's Mortal Kombat. That's a fighting game. That's a game with relatively little movement. The game we're going to look at next has some more movement, and they've done some interesting stuff with it. Hades 2 is what I want to cover next. I wanted to do Hades 1, but I cannot for the life of me get that game to work anymore with the mods that are out for it. Hades is a roguelike that has relatively small locations. the locations are small, and you can still sort of use mods that have been made. This game is very moddable. Most of it's Lua that you can just fuck with. So people have made Lua to teleport you to certain places, but what I want to point out is actually the sound design of that game, which we're going to look at in just a minute. To answer your question, the game, the accessibility options are half on by default. Usually there's some kind of prompt when you first load the game that says, hey, we have these options, do you want them on? Like when you do like the TV calibration for the first time in a game, usually that's when it comes up. Like, hey, you're setting up, here's your audio, here's your visuals. And there's usually some kind of prompt that says, hey, if you want accessibility, press this button and it'll turn it on, and it'll just be smooth sailing from there. There is a shit ton of options in the options menu. I didn't really want to go through that today because it would take us forever, but you can turn the volume for various indicators up and down. You can turn that distance indicator way up or way down. You can turn the speed of the speech up somehow. There's also a setting for that. There's various settings for it, I think. I think you can turn some verbosity things off and on. So there's a lot of like customizability in this particular game. Definitely not always the case. In a game that we're about to look at, Hades 2, there is practically no accessibility options because they just don't exist. Let me put that on the screen. Where is it? Here it is. We're gonna go here. And yes, you can hear the speech. That's fine. Because this game actually has, through a mod, screen reader integration. So I can actually literally go through the options here. And... oh, fuck. Hang on. So this is a good time to bring this up. Basically, what happened here is I forgot something. This game is modded, and the only way to make it work is to play it modded. If you don't have it modded, you don't get accessible gameplay. In up to a point, like the game itself is already pretty. You can sometimes. It doesn't always work. There's all sorts of bits and buts and ifs to that. Let me find my thing. Because what I just forgot to do is I have to actually run this modded instead of run it plain. And if I don't do that, I don't get my stuff. So I just started it modded, and I'll put the game on screen again once we've done that. It's loading. I can actually cheat to make sure that you guys can see that once it comes up. But yeah, like I said, through a mod, through like modding efforts of the community, they've actually made the menus read, which they didn't before. And they've added some interesting little things that didn't work before either. It's still being worked on, given this game is currently early access. But yeah, there you have it. It doesn't look like it's coming up on the screen. Oh, now is it? Yeah, there it is. So if I now were to turn my speech on, I can arrow through this and it tells me what I'm on. Play, options, patch notes, all the things. And that's just a matter of mod authors. And I think I need to mention mod authors here for a second, because they are a very underthanked, underappreciated lot. Usually, most games become accessible, generally 20 years after the fact, but they become accessible by like the efforts of one dude or maybe like a handful of people that decide one day, hey, this game is actually pretty moddable. Maybe we can make this work with a screen reader. Usually they have like a blind friend who wants to play the game, and they'll make the game accessible-er. That obviously shouldn't be the way to do it, because what happens is these people burn out. They have other things to do. They have jobs and lives and families and things, and at some point they're gonna be like, listen, I love working on this, but I also have other shit to do, and I need to make money and not die. And that's fair. You can't blame them for that, but it's really, when that happens, an entire effort falls over a lot of the time. Like right now we have the World of Warcraft Classic Era and World of Warcraft Cataclysm, and Classic Era works fine because one German guy made a whole bunch of mods for it. And Wrath of the Lich King worked fine because those same mods, but Cataclysm sort of just throws out all the maps in disarray. Quite the cataclysm indeed. So what happens is that this mod just completely stops working, and because Blizzard doesn't give them any help whatsoever, like they have to redo the entire thing, and it takes a whole lot of time, a whole lot of effort for honestly very little gain. Like, yeah, sure, a bunch of people can now play the game until they break it again. That's even more egregious with Hearthstone, which is basically every time a patch comes out, they have to disassemble the executable, put the accessibility in, and then put it back together. Which Blizzard is fully aware of, by the way. Like when the guy who was doing the Hearthstone patch decided to pack it in, which again, he had worked on this for like 20 hours a week at least for 10 months. He had other stuff to do, and he said, just I have to step back. Blizzard basically decided to say, listen, you guys are a lot of work. You guys are a lot of work and we don't have the time. So they'll say things like, we'll explore it. We'll explore it. We'll look into it. It takes time. Please don't bother us while we look into it. And obviously, nothing at all has happened. We still need to do it. Like there's a little thing, a little community that builds the things every single time. I'm also on that jerky supermarket user. I'm gonna ban him. But yeah, it's constantly that. Like a lot of developers just flat out don't and leave it to the community to be handled. Baldur's Gate 3 still not accessible. God of War Ragnarok half accessible. Star Trek Outlaws very accessible if you're not blind, but not if you are. And yes, things like Hearthstone, things like Balatro, Slay the Spire, all of those are mod accessible. They're not accessible from the developer. They're accessible because of mods that people have made. Balatro, for example, that's literally poker cards. Like, you cannot tell me that it's too hard to echo a couple of numbers to the screen reader, but apparently it was. And it was left to some kind of modder to fix it, and he did. Don't get me wrong, it's playable now, but it's bad that it has to always be stuff like that. Like, no one does this. Yeah. And a lot that's really where it starts. It's usually not even malice. It's not malicious that they don't do it. It's not always, evil manager going and just like rubbing his hand, patting his cat. It's not always that. A lot of the times, people just think of it too late. Like, people just don't realize, blind people play video games. So that's really why I do these kinds of streams, like make people aware. I go on Blue Sky, I go on Mastodon and say, like, to developers, hey, I'm doing these streams. You might want to come by. You're making a game. Maybe you'll learn something. And some people do, and some people don't. And, you lot seem to be interested. You're not all game devs, I'm aware. But, yeah, that's really what I try to do. I want to play that game so bad. I've seen it. I've seen that game. I would love a good tactical RPG. I would love to play a tactical RPG that's actually good, but I don't know any tactical RPGs that are accessible currently. I would love to play Disgaea. I would love to play Fire Emblem. I'd love to play fucking Final Fantasy Tactics. I'll take anything, but none of these are accessible. There's some work being done on the Banner Saga by, again, one guy in France that's just trying to make a mod for it, and work is being performed. But again, that game came out 12 years ago? So that's the other part of it. A lot of the time when mods are being created, it's way later than the game's heyday. So what you get is just, yay, now we get to play the game that my friends have dropped 5 years ago. Yay. Thanks. I appreciate that. And if it's single player things, that can still be really nice. Yeah, there is someone, apparently there is a computerized, disassembled version of A Link to the Past now, I think. That is very slowly but surely being worked on out in the open. I have no idea what the status of that is. There was also buzz about a Final Fantasy VII, original that was being worked on, but that never materialized either. Given how Japanese companies have been smashing down on emulators and ROMs lately, I don't know if that's going to live for very long anyway, but yeah. That's really it. That's the whole entire problem. You always get this problem of either you're way too late or you don't get to play at all. And a lot of it can be fixed with if you have a person that wants to play with you, a sighted person that wants to play with you, you can play a lot more games, and that's fair. There is blind streamers on Twitch that do that, and I don't necessarily love that that's happening because it sends an unclear message to people who do research into this thing, but let's just not go into that right now. It's a spectrum. Like, this game is doesn't have accessibility issues per se. Let's actually play some. Oh, let's turn the speech on.
Speech mode
This
talk.
game doesn't have any first-party accessibility features, but because of how well the sound design has been done, it's pretty playable. And I'm going to show you how that
Options, play.
works. Let me go.
Land.
Get a save.
Land. Region. The Crossroads Knights. 24 Grasp. 10 Grasp of the Arcana updated. July 13th, 2024, 11:18 p.m.
Again, I'm shit at this game because I'm used to Hades 1 and it works very differently from Hades 1. But I can play it.
Ugh. Get up, Mel.
And if you just listen, there's all sorts of sounds we're hearing even now. I can turn the camera around and have that spin around a bit. We can walk.
Hey.
Hello.
Not gonna lie, Mel. Sometimes I wish I had a big important task. Not that floating isn't one.
It can be that simple. A little sound cue when you walk past something, or just what we're going to see in a minute. Persistent sound cues of important objects in the room, like a cauldron that's bubbling, or some kind of humming portal or something. If you have that, you have an orientation point. You now have something you can walk around. You have an anchor. You have an audible anchor that you can follow.
You know my stance on this, Dora. You need to get out of this tent. You're very talented. I've never met a shade that speaks like you.
Ooh, I can talk. Makes me so special. I'm sure any lowly shade could do it after being stuck here listening to you people long enough. I was fed up with just warbling, so I learned to sound it out, I guess.
I'm glad you did.
Now this is voiced, so you don't need to read this with TTS. I honestly forgot the hotkeys.
Crossroads Cauldron.
Okay, so this is a mod. I'm not sure if it's visible, but there's actually a list of destinations we can now sort of teleport to.
Freenos.
Generally, it's people that you can interact with over here. This is just your home base. You don't really do much here, but let's go here for a second so we have a different soundscape. So we got that bubbling cauldron now. If we go to the left a bit, cauldron goes to the right. I don't know where it is. It's right here. And it can be that simple. You can do this in Unity, like, no problem. Just add a persistent sound source to a door, and now the door is findable. It's not even 30 seconds of work, I'm pretty sure. Like, you can literally just have a property set on the object to make it do that.
Beta and reagent sensing requires one Moe after encounters. Become alerted to any valuable resources in the area.
Sure.
I'm ready. Hear me, Selene, if you so desire. Aid me in finding that which I require.
Magic.
So mote it be.
Continue.
Oop.
Crossroads Cauldron. Dora. Freenos.
So we can
Hypnos,
just sort of
Nemesis,
look around.
Odysseus,
We can go
training ground.
around, go to the training ground, whoosh. And again, you could walk here yourself. With enough like practice, you can learn where everything is and just walk yourself. Generally, you have these mods because it goes a little faster and it's smoothing things out a little bit, but you don't need this. Because the sound design has been so well done, because you do have all these sort of beacons you can use, you don't need all this stuff. Like, you can play this no problem by yourself. You won't always know what you're getting rewards-wise. You'd have to use OCR for that, but that's fine. You get to sort of play a game without too much fuss. See, now we can fight. Yeah, there you go.
Arcana. Earbuzz.
Now let's go die. Of course, we have to, because I'm great at this game.
Heading out.
Whoosh.
Raining again.
I moved a little closer. You can hear that sort of sparkly, dingly noise. There.
So you're the star student of Great Hecate. A little birdie told me she'd been training up a real prodigy. Imagine my surprise when it turned out to be the missing princess of the underworld. How positively scandalous.
So I could have used the mod and teleported to this directly, but I could also just follow the sound cue and walk to it. Pretty much like how we walk around in life, follow the noises. And again, that is not game breaking. That's not easy mode. That is literally just think for 5 seconds and do it.
Land. Rare Rapture in your cast inflict weak and damage foes while dragging them toward the center. Star cast Epic Flutter Flourish. Your specials deal more damage to nearby foes. Star close-up damage plus 200. Rare Rap Passion Rush dashing damages surrounding foes and inflicts weak. And again once you stop. Star area damage 20. Rare Rap Epic Flutter Flourish. Your specials deal more damage to nearby foes. Star close-up damage plus 200%.
That was for the fool.
Now the previous game was very good about letting you constantly dash spam and therefore avoid most projectiles. As you can see, that's no longer the case.
Continue.
But there is other things that show me what's happening. My controller vibrates if I get hit. There is a different hit sound for when you hit something and when you don't hit something. The enemy sounds are directional, so you can sort of hone in on them and walk towards them and then get closer. You can learn how fast and how far your reach is. Things of that nature. You can learn all this stuff because the sound design lets you do so. And it's really an underappreciated part of game development. Like, sure, 4K monitors and 4K videos that cost like 15 million gigabytes, but please fix the audio too. That'd be great. Second one today, Jesus. All right, let's get rid of
Firebox
you.
Ops 30, Firebox V5.
So Hades and Hades 2 have mods that let you do this stuff. They essentially have a sleep bartender. These names get more creative every week. You get this mod, but apart from that, you play the game as anything. Like, you might turn God mode on, which means you don't die as quick, but that's something a lot of people do. It's a roguelike. If you don't do that, you're a sadist, basically. But yeah, let's kill the Hades for now. Let's go to like one more game that I want to show off. A game I've been playing on stream for a while now. Actually, no, let's not do that game. I just realized that would not be great. So there's a handful of games that we've looked at so far that work fine. That's what a lot of it is. Yeah, they think there's just so much that you have to do. Well, sometimes it can be that simple, and what you really run into as a gamer that's not a developer. We could do Diablo. I just don't know if I have Diablo updated. Let me see. So yeah, the tricky bit is that a lot of the time when you're a player that's not a developer, you can't speak the lingo developers need to hear in order to indicate it's not actually as hard as you think it is. And as a developer, you just want to you just have your hands itching to fix it yourself because they keep fucking it up, which is, I guess, the curse of being a developer, honestly. And that's really it. Like, you don't get to have All right, Tarantula, thank you for joining. I hope you had a fun time. I'm going to keep going for a bit longer. But yeah, that is a lot of the time. Like, it's really small changes a lot of the time. Like, you know, make the menus work. In a lot of games, it's make the menus work. In a tactical game, give me like current tile contents that my cursor is hovering over. Give me TTS for the abilities I can pick and their informations. And maybe some kind of way to get an overview of what the current part of the map looks like, and you're done. That's literally it. It can be that simple, but it just doesn't happen a lot of the time, and it's super incredibly sad. Yeah, that's really why I do these kinds of streams. Like I show them off. I show off, like, you know, this is what you had to do. This is the only thing you'd need to do to make this work. You're not doing it. You're essentially willfully discriminating at this point because you've been told and you're just not doing it. Can I actually play this, please? Battle.net gets more annoying every week. Uh-oh. But yeah, oh. There we go. Diablo 4. I'll quickly grab the update if I can. Let's see, is there an update button? Oh, it's downloading, okay. It's 37 gigabytes of content. Holy balls. What other games have been made accessible? Pokemon. Oh, can we do Reborn? Hang on, can we do Reborn? Because that always falls over. Let's see. I have Pokemon Reborn. Like, we could play that while this downloads. Because that is a game that actually has, you know, obviously it's a clone. Well, it's not a clone, it's a Pokemon remake, as it were. And it keeps crashing on me when I stream and completely being fine when I don't stream. So if this works, that'll be the first time on stream that it actually works and behaves normally.
Speech, new game. Update available 19.5.2.
Yeah, I thought
Do you want to download the latest? No, yes.
Sure.
Downloading patch 0%. Downloading patch 100%. Applying patch. Reborn file explore.
Okay.
Pokemon
I'll put this
Reborn.
on the screen for a second then. While we sort this out. But yeah, Pokemon is a game that is navigation, it's team management, and it is, you know, walking around, obviously. So we put this on. I can open this up.
Speech, new other save files, new controls, save directory, controls, new game, other save options.
Oh my god, I don't even have a save file because it's a
new game.
New version. Okay. Here we go, I guess.
Master here. We've got your boarding passes dot.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things you can do, but I'm not gonna play for 5 hours. But yeah, all these games, like the one thing we haven't shown off yet is the camera turns you to the right story objective mechanism. That was introduced in The Last of Us Part 2 when that came out a couple of years ago. And basically what that I can kind of show it off in God of War. The problem is I'm currently at a place in God of War where it's actually not working correctly, so it's kind of a bad view. The way that works is essentially you press a button, usually it's like the right stick or left stick, and it sort of sends your camera in the direction of the next story objective. And then in the case of The Last of Us, you can sort of scan around and like you have little blips that indicate different things like items and things that you can sort of zoom in on, and then it takes you there. And basically all you have to do at that point is hit that button a bunch and move forward, and essentially takes you where you need to go. You still need to do the fighting, and you still need to do the like loadout management and things, but it sort of railroads you through the game navigation-wise. That is a choice. I appreciate that you can still sort of scan around and go towards certain things, not necessarily a story progression. And The Last of Us, I think, does this best. God of War does this too. God of War Ragnarok is a game I'm currently playing on stream on the Xerxiax channel. That's my gaming channel. And Diablo 4 went for a different approach, where essentially it gives you an audio beacon towards your next class, your next quest objective. It only works outside of dungeons, which, if you know anything about Diablo 4, means it's like 40% of the game, if not even that. So there is that. But it's progress. It's something they didn't have before, so I guess I have to be happy with it and glad that it's at least something.
Another one for Reborn City. They sure have been pushing that new league. Let's see, which one of these was it? Select your player character. Vero, Alice. This is you. Yes.
I guess I'm Alice today.
Certainly looks like it.
But yeah, that's what that is. Like, you have a thing that sort of railroads you through the navigation portions of the game, and that can get a little samey, honestly.
And what was your name again?
It is a great way to experience the story of a game, but you miss out on the exploration part of the game, if that makes sense. Like, you can do it, it's just meh. It gets a little boring after a while, and it helps that God of War, for example, has a lot of combat, has a lot of skill management, which is not accessible, by the way. You have to use OCR for that. Equipment management, OCR. Like, they sort of left this in a half-done state and just called it good. And they also got an award for doing that, so hey, there you go. But
Your
yeah,
name?
that exists. That's a thing that you can do. My name is Icy-Null.
Ignol. You said Ignol, right? Yes,
Yep.
got it.
Ignol. Ignol. Sounds like a Cthulhu kind of demon. I am
Ignol. Monster of the deep. Kneel to me, mortals.
That. Ignol. There you go. Typey type machine. Typey type machine. Sure, I'm male. Why not?
1 sec, I'll handle the rest of this.
Bit loud, isn't it? Shh. But yeah, what they've done for this, it's kind of hard to show off. I'm gonna keep playing until I get to like the little blind step tutorial thing that they have done, because I want to show off what they've done here. It's yet another way to do navigation. Again, if we don't completely like crash before we get there. But what they've done here is they have a password system where you can turn certain features off and on. And you can actually turn a specific blind accessibility mode on. I'm not super fan of accessibility modes of that nature, but they've done it relatively well in this particular case. I'm good.
Do you wish to view any information about the game? Keyboard controls. Controls can be reconfigured from the menu or by pressing F1. Recognizing result of land. Pokemon Reborn. Okay, thank you very much.
There we go.
I'll see you when we get into the city.
It was just taking forever. Okay, so yeah, your name is blah blah blah.
Right, it would be great if so. We're finally just getting things off the ground again. Truth is, after the incident a few years ago, the whole region was almost completely abandoned. Even by the
So again, this is using one of those tools that you can use to pipe info directly into the screen reader. This could be something that Hackamot does too. Like, there's no console window behind this window telling the screen reader what to say. It's literally just an API that it's being talked to. Yeah, I'd love to play those. Like I said, all you'd really need is current square contents or current tile contents, a way to move around the map without actually moving things so you can see where things are, and a little bit of spatial imagination. That's really all you'd need. And I guess the menu, so you can do like your team management and things of that nature if you have any, or set your skills or whatever. But you could absolutely make that work, provided people actually make it work, which they don't. This Gaia, for example, would be perfectly doable. All you'd need is, okay, I'm on a so-and-so square, it has this and this color panel on it, this unit's on there, the unit has so-and-so skills, they have so-and-so range. That's it, you're done. You now know enough to be able to use a particular unit. And it's not happening. And it's sad that it's not happening, because that would be super stupid easy to do. Chess, there's a couple of chess games out there, you know, completely like flat chess tutorial programs, and a couple of chess games that you can just play against a computer. But, you know, Windows 98 style, there's no like auto chess or anything of the sort isn't going to work. Closest you can do for that is Hearthstone's Battleground mode.
Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just feel free to skip this. But were there any special instructions or passwords you had?
Okay, yeah, here we go. So I do have instructions.
You might want to check out the blind step password for additional accessibility features. Yes.
So here it's pointing out that we might want to enter blind step for accessibility features. We're going to do that so we can see what it does.
Enter password.
Enter password blind step.
Blind step. Password has been enabled.
Okay.
Aim. Got it. Will there be anything else?
No.
Yes. No. Aim. All set. And dot. We're almost to Grandview Station, so after we disembark, just follow me to the Grand Hall. There, I'll give you a starter Pokémon to really kick off your adventure in Reborn. Sound good? And if you will, Aim. Something's not right. Shouldn't we be decelerating already?
Uh-oh.
Oh no, move. Effects on. Effects off.
Do you remember Pokemon going like that?
Welcome to the blind step password tutorial.
Yeah, for a lot of it, it really is. Okay, so now we're in a tutorial. Very much you just blew up on a train and now there's a tutorial.
In this tutorial, you'll have the opportunity to learn about and try out various audio cues in order to learn about the accessibility features of the game. In order to help with item location and navigation from the outset, you'll be given an item finder right away. Consider registering it through the back for quick access. Obtain item finder.
Hey!
Ignal put the item finder in the key items pocket. If you would like to adjust the volume of blind step specific sounds, please look for the separate volume option in the options menu. Additionally, you can use the F9 key to get your current coordinates.
So coordinates, there is literally Google documents out there that tell you where certain things are coordinates wise. So you can look up, oh, I'm in this building. The Pokemon Center dude is at 5, 9. And then by using that F9 key, you can see, okay, I'm at 8, 9. So he's like 3 things to my X coordinates, as it were. And if you learn to use that, you can actually look through things and find them relatively quickly. Apparently they want to automate this in the future and have like a take 2 steps to the left and 3 steps to the right thing going on. That's actually how they've made older Pokemon emulated 2nd generation games accessible. 2nd and 3rd, actually. So you can literally cycle through interactables and then hit a button that says, okay, 5 steps to the right, 2 up, 3 left, 5 down. And yeah, that works.
Guides meant for blind players generally use these coordinates for navigation.
Oh, this wasn't here in the previous
thing.
thing.
Features a native bump sound. Whenever you walk into a generic obstacle, it sounds like this. This bump sound may change, or be accompanied by other sounds based on the type of object you are bumping into. Various such objects have been placed on the top edge of this space. Try walking into them to learn about each sound. To exit the tutorial and begin the game properly, walk as far down as possible at any time.
So, what they've done here, I'm going to walk a little bit away from it so it's not too loud. There we go. What they've done here is they've made the walls audible. So you can essentially orient yourself within a space by listening to where your walls are. Kind of like a very exaggerated echolocation. Like you hear that higher pitched thing on the right, that is a wall. If you go closer to it, it'll get louder.
That can be smash makes. You will need the proper badge and machine to do so. Here's a sound that should play when an event is in line with you. Like other ambient sounds, the pan and pitch of this sound will change based on which direction the item is in.
That's loud.
Unfortunately, what qualifies as an event is a little up in the air. The game code uses events for all sorts of things, from objects for puzzles to cosmetic effects to obstacles, and walls to other NPCs. Unfortunately, there's no way that we can helpfully specify and label all of them. If you hear this sound, assume that there is a chance something interesting is near you. It is not a guarantee.
So, another interesting thing that they've done here is there's an accessibility tutorial. That's also something that often doesn't happen. You sort of just play the regular tutorial and have to follow along. And accessibility isn't always sort of cleared up and indicate how you're meant to use it. Which in a game like The Last of Us, which has like a shit ton of different audio cues, is a bit much sometimes, but you can get by. But yeah, this game's main weakness, I think, like they've done the persistent sound sources for the walls, but they've not done them for interactables. You really only know you're on an interactable if you literally bump into it. And it might actually be really helpful to have those sort of pinging at you from a little bit further away. So you can use them as like, oh, I need to walk towards that. Kind of like I do that sometimes in real life with clicking traffic lights or just idling cars. Don't do that when you're at a crossing because they might not be idle anymore and you might get killed. But really just like make the little blip for an interactable just play the way walls do. Apparently they're not doing that because this is an ancient engine and it barely handles playing this many sounds all at once to begin with, so it makes sense. But yeah, that's a choice. Last thing I thought I want to show today, I think, is I want to see if I can get Diablo to work. Is that done yet? Almost. We need to like wait for 6 more gigabytes, but it goes pretty fast. So basically what Diablo has done, like I said, they don't send your camera anywhere. They don't really have anything accessibility wise that does that. What they have added in this new an audio ping that sort of pings at you, like that tells you what direction to turn to in order to get somewhere. Like again, like I said, it only works outside of dungeons, which means, well, dungeons, like I said, are most of Diablo's thing, so it's kind of meh in some respects, but at least that lets you do the campaign quests and things, find NPCs and such. I don't know if there's a tutorial for it. I have literally not seen this, like apart from like the very, very first iteration, and apparently it's changed quite a bit. I saw someone made a tutorial video. I haven't looked at it. So we're going to go in blind. Ha! And yeah, see how that goes. I don't have The Last of Us and God of War I'm stuck in, so it doesn't really work. And yeah, what I'm honestly expecting, sort of, that's what I left it at when I played this in the first BTR. What happened was it sort of showed you approximately where to go, and then once you were within a screen of the target, it would just sort of let you go. And like, okay, you can figure it out from here. But obviously, if you can't see the screen, you have no idea where in that area you need to be. So I'm very curious if and what they've done here. It's almost done loading, so I'm going to close Steam and do a couple of other things. Because if you have Steam running with this game, it goes kablooey. It doesn't work very well. So I'm going to turn this off. But yeah, we're going to play Diablo. And you guys, what I've really meant to do with this stream is just show off a bunch of different, very different games that do very different things and work very differently. Games. Okay, that's good. That's good. Well, almost is still a little but it's something. Oh, it's reclaiming space. That's nice of it. I'm getting 13 gigabytes back. That's nice. But yeah, we've done Hades, we've done Brock, we've done Zork, we've done Pokemon, we've done fighting game, we've done a bunch of different things, and now we're gonna end off with a little bit of Diablo. To sort of, you know, end it off. And this really is meant to show there's a bunch of different games that can play, and there's a bunch of different games that would be playable if someone put in some effort, like people said, tactical games, strategy games. Fuck, I would like to play Red Alert, but it just hasn't happened yet. Stardew, yeah, Stardew. I don't have Stardew set up on this computer, I don't think. It's the one thing I forgot to set up. So big sads. Big super sads. But yeah, Diablo. Stardew works. Factorio mod works. There's a mod for Stardew. There's a mod for Factorio. There's a mod for Balatro. There's a mod for Slay the Spire. There's a mod. There's a mod for different things. It's just that almost no game does it by themselves, which is sad. Okay, I'll put this on the game. Crusader Kings, again, that's a mod.
2.0.2.5
Minecraft, I honestly think is a bit of a stretch, accessibility-wise, but yes, it is. There is mods for it.
Logging into Diablo 4. Right action button cancel. Downloading data. Right action button cancel.
Well, I'm glad. Thanks for the praise. I appreciate it. Definitely stick around if you wanna see more stuff. Feel free to sub to the channel or whatever. It always helps. Leave a comment and all that stuff.
Become the Spiritborn. Call upon powerful guardian spirits as the glaive-wielding Spiritborn. This all-new class is a master of hand-to-hand combat, crushing foes with the aid of the spirit realm. Explore Nahantu. From the far reaches of the Tengens Plains to the infested burrows of the skittering...
Yeah. They want me to buy the thing.
Season of Hatred Rising is here. Fight hatred and discover close. Fight back against hatred. Close. Welcome back, players. Character and Paragon levels available now. Realm-wide Paragon. Paragon levels are now a separate experience track that is shared across characters. Character level update. Characters' collective experience and levels above 60 have been converted into Paragon levels. Your total Paragon level. LV. 00. Hardcore. Celebration rewards. Please enjoy these celebration rewards for the update. The Headsman's Burden, the Raptor's Grace, and the Blade Breaker are free gifts ready to be claimed in the shop. Asterisk Paragon boards will be unlocked at new maximum characters level of 60. Right action button close.
Yeah, like when I played it, I literally just kept getting stuck in trees. You literally had me suicide like 5 times in a row, and we couldn't get stuck. So I'm sure people can play it. Maybe it's just not me who can play it, but I did not have a good experience when I tried it. What the hell?
Create new character. Create new character. Create new character. Create new character. Left shoulder button. Right shoulder button. Options. Return. Options. Exit Diablo 4. Options. Display.
Well, let's first set our
display adapter. Monitor.
accessibility
Adapter.
stuff.
Enable sound. Enable master volume, music volume, effects volume, dialogue volume, ambience volume, cinematics volume, sound output device.
Not sure where they hit the accessibility features, but we'll find
audio
them.
mix, play in background, auto join voice chat mode, voice chat output, voice chat microphone device, microphone output, auto detect voice activity.
So again, this is self-voiced menus. Very simple thing that makes the entire menu usable.
Dialogue, lorebook, cinematic dialogue subtitles, lorebook subtitle, font color, background auto prop, use screen, third party screen, use auto progress game dialogue. And use screen reader. Enabled. Third-party screen reader volume, screen reader speed, screen reader voice, text to speech.
So in this one, I can definitely say that it is actually a screen reader because I actually sent this text to the screen reader proper as well. From what I remember, it was a little iffy, so I tend to not. But
trade, clan, whisper, play sounds, add character names, play sounds separating chat line breaks, add in channel in speech, add item in game loot sounds, weapon, armor, jewelry, socketable, other, minimum quality, play audio on weapon, play audio on ambient loot, weapon, armor, jewelry. Enabled.
Again, persistent sound sources for loot.
Socketable. Other. Minimum quality. Play audio on targeting objects. Enabled. Nearest traversal sounds. Enabled. Player audio on error. On. Player audio on error. Warning. You have unsaved changes. Are you sure you want to discard them? Action button save.
I don't think I've changed anything, but sure.
Shake effects. Controller vibration. Screen combat. Reduce strobing. Highlight play. Show all tutorial. Error notification. Advanced tooltip. Lock cursor.
Yeah, this is all visual stuff.
Swap left cursor sensitivity. Swap controller vibration. Swap cursor. Inner dead zone. Outer dead zone.
This is control stuff.
Crossnet. Use screen reader. Third party screen
Here
reader.
we are.
Screen reader volume. Screen reader speak. Screen reader voice. Text to speech. Voice option. Speech volume. Local. Party. Trade. Clan. Whisper. Play sound separating chat line breaks. Disabled. Play sound separating chat line breaks. Enables or disables a sound that plays separating chat line breaks. Add character name says in speech.
Okay.
Add channel. Add item link. Font scale. Cursor scale. High contrast cursor. Enabled. High contrast cursor. Increases the contrast of colors used on the in-game cursors.
That's a good question, Pseudonym. Basically, not hugely. Molitvan really was just making the point that once you already know a game, you know what's probably happening visually if you've played a game before, so it helps a bit in knowing what you may not be being told, if that makes sense. But apart from that, no, I don't think there's a huge difference. I think this one people have already been able to see. You can rely more reliably on things like prior knowledge of visual concepts, things of that nature, but that doesn't really happen very often, I don't think.
HUD compass. Disabled. HUD compass. Enables a visual compass around the player that points to the current map pin play. HUD compass.
I guess I'll turn that on. It's not accessible for us, but now you have it.
High contrast arrow. Arrow color. Audio navigation assistance. Disabled. Audio navigation assistance. Provides audio pings that help navigate players towards their current map pin in the world. In conjunction with auto pin, this allows players to constantly navigate toward system message. Audio navigation assistance. Disabled. Audio navigation assistance. Provides audio pings that help navigate players towards their current map pin in the world. In conjunction with auto pin, this allows players to constantly navigate towards their current quest. Audio navigation assistance.
I wouldn't even say it's necessarily always a sense of space. It's also that you don't have a sort of a view of what the space might look like. For example, in God of War, you can have all the orientation in the world, but if you just don't know what you're currently, where you are in the room, say if there's several platforms and you just cannot tell if you are on a platform and if so on which one, then you can have all the orientation you want, but it's just not going to be enough a lot of the time.
Interval. Sets the desired interval in seconds between audio navigation assist pings.
Okay. So we can set the amount of time in between sort of this way pings. Let's set it to 2 just for fun.
System messages interval.
I cannot change that. Oh.
Sets the desired interval.
Wait.
Interval. 2.
It just doesn't say. Okay, set it to 2.
System messages. Errors. Combat warning.
Combat
chat.
warning.
Combat warning. Combat warning messages will appear in this color in text chat.
Oh.
Party chat, local chat, trade chat.
This is all color stuff. Okay.
Dialogue, lorebook, cinematics, dialogue, lorebook, subtitle.
So yeah, we're pretty much done here.
Warning.
Yep. This time I want to save it. Let's turn this on. Where did my character go though?
Create new character. Season of Hatred Rising is here. Fight hatred and discover major progression changes. Cleanse Mephisto's corruption. Cull the corruption and defeat powerful realm walkers, which appear as world events.
Wait, can I not use my character because we got a different season?
Fight back against hatred. Close. Create new character. Sorkiax.
Oh, there he is.
26.
Sorkiax. Because I'm a sorcerer and I don't have creativity.
The barbarian carries an entire arsenal consisting of 4 weapons with him at all times.
That's cool for him, but I'm a sorcerer.
What's your name? With expert unlocked. Visiting Kyle Bichette to change.
The hell?
Abandoned cart. Bottom action button. Interact.
Not
cannot
while
be
I'm
in
in
this area.
town.
The Dodger Beats. Wildwood. Wildwood. Swinging Swarm. Wildwood. Swinging Swarm. Mono 80%. Wildwood. Mono 58. Mono 37%. Mono 57%. Wildwood. Mono 78%. Mono 99%. Wildwood. Jars. Urban.
Okay.
Urban. Click lurker. Mono 77%.
So yeah, it tells us what we're targeting.
Jars. Mono 98%. Blood letter. Light hand. Mono 77%.
Yeah, and that's actually telling us where to go.
Light hand. Mono 35%. Mono 13%. Mono 33%. Mono 54%. Mono 75%. Mono 95%. Blood letter. Mono 75%.
Fire.
Blood letter. Mono 49%. Mono 70%. Blood letter.
That's actually clever though, because sometimes people can't hear if it's behind or in front of them, particularly if you're playing on TV with speakers. So I actually kind of like that. Thing is, I don't really know what the sounds mean yet, so it's like...
Mono 70%. Mono 91%. Mono 69%. Urban. Mono 89%. Chest.
Uh-oh. Nice.
Reward unlocked. Challenge. Reward. Hasty. Combat. Player's helm. Mono 85%. Helm.
And there you go.
Reward unlocked. Challenge. Reward. Quick. Killer. Player titles. Slain Miner. Bottom action button. Interact.
It tells you what you're running across. There's a sound that sort of tells you where to go, kinda.
Blood letter. Click blood letter.
As soon as you aim on something, you get told. So you can decide if you want to ow. There's also vibrations for when you get hit.
You are already full life.
And yeah. That's Diablo, which I'm going to stop playing now because I'm playing this tomorrow on stream. And with that, we've seen a number of different games with a number of different complexities. We've seen, you know, all the way from text adventures up to AAA releases and back. And we've seen that a lot of games can be made accessible just fine with a little bit of extra elbow grease. What we're also seeing is that a lot of people are just not putting in the work, though. And that's sad. So, you know, when developers come to me and ask, you know, can you help me make my game accessible? that is extremely rare first. That almost never happens. So when it does happen, obviously I want to stimulate that. I'm going to make sure that actually is something I can help with. And yeah, that's really what I do with my Xerxiax channel. This is really my hacker... This is really my hacker, programmer, musician, all sorts of other things thing, where I do all sorts of like tool reviews, try hack me, hack the box, coding tools. That's really what I do on this channel, and then on the Xerxiax channel on Twitch, which sometimes get archived to the Blindly Coding YouTube channel, but not always. I do game stuff like God of War or Diablo or things of that nature. I actually need to do a dump soon with a bunch of different videos. But yeah, I play what I can, and that's honestly not as much as I'd like to. I'd like to be able to play. There's a lot more I'd love to be able to play that I can currently play. So yeah, this is my song for the asking. Just fix it. It's not that hard a lot of the time. There's a lot of small things you can do as developers to make an experience better, and that's not happening, and people are making way more difficult than it needs to be in their heads, and they don't talk to the actual target audience a lot of the time, so it just sort of sits there on the to-do list and it never gets done. So yeah, that's me having said quite enough. I think I'm going to raid out, at least find someone to raid. Fix it, you're always good for people who are cold to raid. Any suggestions? I'm also looking at what's open for me, but I don't have this account logged in, so let's see. Delete that source for now. Yep. Gonna put some music on while I look for stuff to raid, and then yeah. See, music, Spotify, there it is. Kamari, yeah, Kamari's been a second, we can do that. I'll see who else is out there, but that's a good one. No problem. Yeah, I see Kamari as well. Kamari is up there. Yeah, no one else that I immediately see. Oh, that could be fun. Yeah, let's expand our network and go see what that person's up to. Electronic, supersonic, Sid Heresy. Sid Heresy, I think his name is. Okay, let's rate him out. Opa.
Raid initiated.
So,
we will be raiding Sid Heresy.
I'll be back tomorrow
seconds.
with Diablo, probably, if my person that plays with me is available. Saturday, I hope to be able to do some more God of War. We're currently stuck in that game, so I'm gonna have to get myself unstuck first and foremost. But I'm gonna see who or what. Next Tuesday, we're back with probably some Try Hack Me content. We'll have to see what's going. And yeah, that's
60 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Thank you, Fix It. I'm glad you liked it. You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, that's really it. Have fun with. I guess their name is Sid Heresy, or She the Heresy. But yeah, it's been fun. I hope I'll see some of you again next streams. It'll be amusing if I do.
30 seconds remaining.
And yeah, don't be a stranger. Stay warm. It's getting cold out there, and make sure you eat and drink well when you need to. It's important. Take care of yourselves. That's important. All right, I'm gonna see what this person is all about. You guys are too. The people who are following on Twitch. The YouTube people will not. Sorry, I can't raid on YouTube remaining. As well. This has been me. I hope you had a good time. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Raid forwarded to Sid Erizy.
Damn.